Hello and welcome back to Monster Hunter Generations, where today we're getting started on some event quests, and also where I'm feeling almost completely better. Almost. And I'm wearing slightly different armor. It gives me the same skills, I'm just wearing this because it doesn't require a weapon slot, so it's easier to swap between weapons. And it looks kind of silly with the wings and all, but I mean, hey. We're starting on event quests. This chest is technically an event armor piece, because you can't fight Hyper Silver Rathalos without events, but yeah. We're starting with this quest because I wanted to start with fun ones, and in my opinion, the fun ones are almost always the ones that have monsters with unusual sizes. I don't care whether they're super massive or the other way. They tend to be pretty fun. And hopefully I won't do too much clearing of my throat today. I haven't really needed to very much. And another reason I'm... Whoops. That tiny little roar. But yeah, another reason that I'm starting with this silly quest instead of a more serious one is because I don't have as much time to record as I would actually like at the moment. It's getting pretty close to the quiet hours at the dorm here. And, yeah, the reason that is because I actually spent most of my time after classes today working on a paper. Because, you know, it's worth a lot of my grade in the class that it's from, so didn't want to, you know, blow it off for this. Wanted to actually get it done, because there's other things that I need to be doing tonight. Ow. I like how the beam that comes out of his mouth is thicker than him. Tiny monsters are always silly. Especially when they're not supposed to be tiny. But yeah, I'm gonna go through this and some other just fun, silly event quests, and then some that are meant to be challenges. Because challenging event quests are also quite fun. I mean, the Clashing Fists Bracky in 3U was one of my favorite quests in that game, so... Yay, we cut the tiny tail. Now to try and break this tiny face. But yeah, I like doing quests sometimes where I have every expectation that I'm going to fail it. Like, I mean, if I didn't enjoy it to some extent, I probably wouldn't have done a lot of those deviant quests that I just spent 12 episodes working on. I'm actually pleased that I failed as few as I did. But, yeah, a lot of those were losing prospects. Hey, cats, I get that you want to use your horns, but could you maybe help me with these bubbles? Guess not. Sure, I could have used a cleanser, but then I wouldn't get to poke fun at my cats. One difficulty using Adept Longsword against tiny monsters is it can be tough to actually get dodges off of their tiny hitboxes and then get my Spirit Slash on their tiny frames. Like, there. If that was a full-size Mizutsune, I might have actually hit it. Yeah, that's right, little guy. Was kind of hoping to hit his face, but oh well, any hit's a good hit. And green sharp just isn't enough. I actually went and made the whole Silver Soul R set, because why the hell not? I mean, it's not really that useful in its entirety, but some of its pieces are pretty good, especially the chest here. I forget what it's got on it. Yes. 4 points of handicraft is what it's got. That's a good amount. And as you may have just seen, it is not actually fully upgraded yet. I still need one more Hyper Silver Wrath scale. Good job, cat. Knocked it out of the sky. But yeah, I imagine well, if I know I'll end up doing the quest, but if I end up beating the Hyper Silver Rathalos quest on here, well, then I guess that'll give me the scale I need. I will not be wearing this armor for said quest because I need armor that's got, like, fire res. Like, lots of fire res. Tried doing that quest with -3 fire res, which my normal armor set has. Great. I got screwed out of my second thing by breaking his back, which ordinarily you cannot reach. But yeah, my ordinary armor set has -3 fire res, and it turns out against Hyper Silver Rathalos, when it's enraged, I was taking 80% of my health in damage from one fireball, which is not sustainable. So yeah, basically if I go in with Fire Blight immunity, and thus 25 fire res, it makes it much more tolerable. Of course, this quest isn't over with just this monster, so we've got to wait a little bit longer. I'm going to use this trap because this next monster is super dangerous. Especially at the size it's at. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to deal without using this trap. Go away, Mizutsune. Thanks. Oh, not quite. But yeah, I don't know how I would ever manage to defeat such a massive beast without first immobilizing it. I mean, every step it takes is going to shake the ground. Thankfully, it doesn't take too many steps. It's a bird, after all. I tried eating for Insomniac, but unfortunately I only ended up with Sharpshooter, so I can't just sit in that. It's sad. And I need to get more gauge. Oh, and I just kind of interrupted one of my best chances at it. And then I dodged too late. Oh, good, it's in the trap. Watch one of my cats freaking knock me out of the way here. I am surprised they actually let that go for its full duration. Surprised in a pleasant fashion. That little twist he did before diving made me think that I had actually managed to knock him out of the air for a brief moment. Unfortunately, that moment was quite short-lived. My timing for the dodge is off there, because with his small size, he's closer to the ground than usual. We've only got one break left on this little bird. Come here, you tiny bird. Okay, I meant like in a more slow fashion that wouldn't send me flying anywhere. My cat just tried to whack me. All right, bird. Okay, I want your face to break. I hope that's been clear and that you're willing to cooperate. Yeah, that's right. There it goes. And I'm just going to say right now that because of the thing I was talking about with it being, pretty late here, this will be the only episode I record, or the only hunt that I do in this episode, and also the only episode I record today. And this is actually being recorded the night before it's going to be going live, just to date the episode. But, yeah, between sickness and schoolwork and some trips I've taken that you've actually already seen images and video from. It's I've been having a hard time actually keeping my my buffer. In fact, I do not have a buffer right now. But once it gets to be the weekend over here, I'm going to actually have a chance to really dig into games and... Really? Oh, well, at least I had already finished sharpening. I started using another whetstone because I was like, oh man, I didn't get to finish, but forgot that I had sharpener. But yeah, this weekend I'll get a chance to actually rebuild my buffer. Because I expect I'll, not be at all sick anymore by then, because, that's 4 days away. 4 days is enough to recover from the almost zero symptoms I have remaining. At least I certainly hope so. If not, something is terribly wrong. And, so yeah, I'll be able to record a bunch of stuff. And also, it's looking like tomorrow, at least according to my various syllabi, is not going to have that much work I need to do outside of my classes, which is nice, because there's another thing I'd want to record besides just Monster Hunter. Because, I mean, the Pokemon Sun and Moon demos are coming out in the States in 2 minutes as of this recording. Which unfortunately means I can't record them tonight, because that's too late. But it does mean that I am going to be recording one of those. I mean, there's only one demo, so I guess I'm going to be recording that. But yeah, should be a thing. I'm excited for it. I actually haven't put any Pokemon videos on this channel yet, but I've always kind of wanted to, and now I've got a real excuse to do so. I don't remember what I threw away, but I probably should have thrown away the supply items first. Whatever, it was probably a Wyvern tier or something. I don't care that much. I was doing the... Yeah, it was Wyvern. No? What? I don't remember. But yeah, I like Pokemon. I think it's enjoyable. And I'm going to have to think of what I'm going to have, or what I'm going to do for the full releases of Sun and Moon, because normally what I've been doing for the past 2 generations is get one game to play in Japanese. Oh, hey, we got that. Get one game to play in Japanese, and one game to play in English, and do Japanese first and then English, so that I could, translate the stuff for myself, and then play through in English to check my work, which I actually find to be a pretty good way to practice your Japanese reading. Or reading in any language, really, because you can do a bunch of different languages in Pokemon games. And it's fun. But this time around, since I'm going to need one copy to record, which I'm going to want to be doing a Nuzlocke run in, because that just keeps the stakes up and makes it more interesting to watch, in my opinion. I'm going to want one copy to play in Japanese, but the thing is, if I'm not playing through for the first time when I'm recording, that does take some away from my experience. Like, I kind of want to record my first run through, a blind run, because I actually really enjoy recording blind runs. But yeah, so I'm going to have to decide whether to either play through in English first, which gets rid of any benefit I would have by playing through in Japanese, because I'd already know what they were saying in English. Though I could catch any slight localization differences, which is always kind of neat to see. But then there's also the option of playing through in Japanese first, and then just letting the fact that I'm doing a Nuzlocke stand for keeping things interesting in the English version. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I could do one game in Japanese and the other recorded, but I don't imagine they'll have as significant enough differences to make it feel completely fresh for the second time through. But either way, that's a discussion for another time. If you have ideas, feel free to put them in the comments or tweet at me or something. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Join us next time when we do some more event questing. See you then, friends.